Good morning, everyone. It is me, Gary Ryan, here with you for another Fed League Flash early morning edition. All right, yes, a lot has happened in the last 13, 14 hours. So, yesterday on the Spotify edition of Fed League Flash, which, by the way, every Wednesday you can go there to get news and information because I'm able to do videos on Wednesday. Go to Spotify. If you don't have Spotify, download Spotify. It's a free app. And then search for and follow the Fed League Flash right there on Spotify. And every Wednesday you can get caught up. All right. So, yesterday on said edition of Fed League Flash, talked about the new team coming to Topeka, Kansas. Okay, so here's what happened in brief. A group of people, and one of the members of that group is Matt Torgerson, who many of you know is a member of, or has been a member of, Minor Pro Hockey. Fed page, the Facebook page. You can find out a lot of information what's going on with the Fed from there. Anyway, he was part of a group that was attempting to bring a pro team, and specifically an FPHL team, to Topeka, Kansas. Yeah, I know, way out that way. Well, I guess now I've got to say this about Matt Torgerson. He is an extremely passionate person. Loves the game, loves the everything about it, even the inner workings. If you don't know, he is a player rep for quite a few players in the Fed, as well as in the Michigan Independent Hockey League and in the juniors. So he and his organization represent a good many players, and again, very passionate about it. He loves hockey. I don't think there's many people that love hockey more than Matt Torgerson. All right. So in his enthusiasm, he made an announcement yesterday on the 2 Minutes for Roughing podcast, kind of a special edition, that he and the partners that he was working with, also known as Hammerstone Holdings, had gotten everything in place, and they were announcing Topeka, Kansas is going to be starting next season in the Fed, newest member of the Fed. So, meanwhile, the FPHL said, what? No official paperwork had been submitted. The application had not gone through. And so Matt just jumped the gun, basically. All right, so FPHL released a statement saying on the FPHL Facebook page that they hadn't received any application at this time. Future discussions were possible, but nothing had been established or officially settled. All right, so meanwhile, Matt got contacted, I guess, by several different people who were kind of in the know as far as the other people he was working with. And I guess there arose some legal complications, not with necessarily the whole Topeka situation, but past dealings with the head of Hammerstone Holdings, which that's Brian touched on. So again, some back and forth happened between the members, and apparently communication had not been completely resolved or agreed upon, I guess you could say. Matt was under the honest assumption that everything's done, everything's taken care of, everything's in place. Let's go announce this, pump up the team, start promoting the team. That is kind of on par with his usual thinking as far as promoting players and representing players. So anyway, so yeah, communication went back and forth, and it's like, well, the paperwork is being handled, but it's not completed yet. And then there was the potential whatever legal issue may be in place for what happened previously with Brian. And so in the end, Matt said, okay, I'm out. I'm not I'm not involved with the group anymore. And any kind of announcement that was made as far as Topeka playing in the Fed next year was pulled. So that's where we're at. So there's a possibility in the future down the road that perhaps there could be a team in Topeka. Now, I mean, Topeka is so far out there geographically. It just would not be feasible right now. Not until you potentially got more teams in the general area on board with, yeah, we're going to have a Fed team. In the past, Don Kiernan, commissioner, has said, yeah, we're very interested in further expansion. We'd love to be able to get to 14 to 16 teams. Midwest expansion is something we're looking at. So, at this point, if you get a cluster of teams in a relative geographical area, then yeah, it could work. But I mean, at this point, just saying hypothetically, yeah, we have a team in Topeka. Closest, nearest team to Topeka is the Motor City Rockers, and that's a 13.5-hour bus ride if you make good time. So obviously, that's not going to logistically work. You can't play Motor City 56 times a year. It just can't happen. So yeah, that kind of shot that down. And so again, in the future, it could happen. We could see more Midwest expansion. I mean, there's been talks about Danville. Barry Soskin's having talks right now with the David S. Palmer Arena board and the city of Danville to see if he can work something out to bring Danville back into the fold, the FPHL. And that's great. But that's still a 9.5-hour bus ride to Topeka. There's also possibilities. It's been floated before. Well, let's try Bloomington again. We tried that before. It fell through because of COVID. There's a multitude of possibilities and options, but getting back to, okay, this is the way it is. No, it's just not happening, at least for next year. So yeah, Golden City Bombers on hold as of today, last night. All right, so that's what we got for that. I wanted to put out a video and address that, because the word got out there. Hey, new team coming to the Fed. And yeah, I was part of, spreading that information, which at the time, based on the information I had, seemed like, yeah, this is happening. And then, things kind of fell into place and no, this isn't happening. So, we are looking at the potential for next season of a 12-team league. And I say potential because we have 3 moving parts in play. First, you've got the possible relocation of the Delaware Thunder franchise. Now, this is necessitated by the fact that they've been trying to negotiate a new lease with the fairgrounds, and it just hasn't worked out. So then they started exploring the possibility of transferring to another facility not too far away, like in Wilmington or Newark, Delaware, and those fell through. So right now it's looking very probable that the team will be setting up next season in Aston, Pennsylvania, which is a small town in Chester County, about 25 miles to the southwest of Philadelphia. A press conference is scheduled for next Tuesday. The Delaware Thunder they're going to announce basically what the future holds for the team. Now, running under the assumption that this is what's happening, they're going to Aston. There's still a lot to be worked out, including the fact that there's already an NAHL team there. So are they going to be competing for ice time? Are they going to be, is the NAHL moving on? What's going on there? So there's that. The other two pieces to the puzzle that haven't been fit in yet is, okay, everything supposedly is official with Baton Rouge Pro Hockey and Barry Soskin. However, a lease has still not yet been signed. Now, Don Kiernan has gone on record on an interview, 2 minutes for holding, that basically leases have to be done by the end of April at the absolute latest for a team to be guaranteed inclusion in next season. The FPHL has to start making the schedule and creating the schedule. They need to know exactly, what's what. So any franchise activity is going to be done by the end of April. They'll be working on the schedule during the playoffs and getting everything established there. So Baton Rouge, the arena is there. The organization is there. The fan support is apparently there, but the lease is not. The other piece of the puzzle is the Virginia team with Virginia. The arena needs extensive remodeling and reconfiguration and bringing in an ice plant. All things that cost a lot of money, requires a lot of time and a lot of manpower. And from what I understand, work is woefully behind. So, you announce the team, but it's like, well, do you have a place to play? Is the arena all set? Now, with the lease agreement is in place, but the arena is not capable of hosting professional hockey. So there's a conundrum there. So we're running under the assumption at this point that the team is going to be a 12-team league next year. But again, that is not set in stone, even though FPHL has announced, yes, new team in Wytheville. Yes, new team in Baton Rouge. We've got to see. And we also have to see what happens with Delaware. All right, so that is the latest. It gets us caught up, I think. Depending on transactions and whatnot, I may do another video later on. In the meantime, make sure to hit like and subscribe here. And again, for Wednesdays, make sure to go to Spotify. If you don't have Spotify, download Spotify. It's a free app, free to use, and then search for Fed League Flash. Make sure to hit the follow button there, and you can stay up to date on the latest here. All right, thank you so much again for all your support, for your viewership. Thank you to all of you who have subscribed. Make sure to pass this along, share this with your friends, and we'll hopefully continue growing the channel. Thank you so much. I'm Gary Ryan for Thursday's Fed League Flash, maybe part 1.